Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here with me today. How is your day going on so far? Everybody, thank you for being here with me today. How is your day going on so far? I was thinking last night, what should I talk to you about today? And I want to give you some tips that will help you in everyday life, not necessarily tips that are concerning, skincare. This is definitely my specialty. That's what I'm prepped to deal with and address. And that's what I've been doing all my life. I was thinking sometimes, what would I be if I would have to do something else? Not that I need a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm self-employed for many, many years and I'm very happy. But I was thinking if I would have to choose something else than treating skin, what would I choose? There were times when I was younger and I was literally intrigued by human body. And I think I got that from the moment my son got sick. That changed my life completely. And for the last 38 years since he is ill, I am constantly thinking, okay, I have to find ways to improve his health. I have to find ways to shorten his seizures. I have to find ways to maybe control his nutrition to make this better for him and easier for him. Since he's not able to communicate with me at all, I'm obviously very limited to find out what works for him or what not, other than looking at his symptoms. I have tried, I don't even know, hundreds of different compounds. Since I don't personally take any medication, he has to be on a seizure medication, but I'm giving him a lot of herbs that helps with improving digestion, constipation, sleeping pattern, food absorption. So a lot of these things I do for him. I was told once, which really shocked me, by a doctor. He was in a hospital, and the doctor told me, do you ever think that you might be selfish with your son? And I was absolutely shocked. I said, what exactly do you mean by that? And she said, he's alive because of you. And I said, yes, I'm his mother. I gave him birth. I am not here on the face of earth to take his life or anybody else's life. That's God's job. God, Allah, whatever you call it, it's a supreme power above our head that will decide when it's our time to go, not humans. So I said, I will do anything it takes to keep him alive. And he was like, yes, but do you think that he could tell he would want that? I said, none of us will know ever because he cannot tell. So until something happened, an organ will fail or something that I would not allow him to suffer, all I can do is to help him and make sure that whatever days he has left on this earth, it's going to be easier for you. It's not about me. My job as a mother is not easy, and it should never be easy. Okay? When you have a child, it's all about your child. If you are a good parent. Mothers are a little bit special in my opinion, not because I'm a feminist, but because we carry that baby 9 months in our womb and we develop a very special attachment to that human being. On the happiest note, because you notice, although I deal with this day in and day out, when my friends are complaining about having a bad day, I said, let's swap. I'll give you a day of my life and you give me a day of your life. And at the end of the day, you tell me if you will ever complain about your day, because I guarantee you, you'll find your life very, very beautiful. But going back to what I do and what I know, today I'm going to introduce to you a special compound. It is a compound that contains oxygen, contains hydrogen, and it's a compound that it's actually used for many things in your household, in your everyday routine. I'm not going to make health statements here because I'm not a medical provider. I will just share with you situations when I use this compound, and I've noticed tremendous changes. And based on that, that's what I will share with you, because I would like to also improve your way of cleaning your house, cleaning your body, cleaning your skin, your clothing, using as much as possible organic compounds. We all know we wash our detergents, our clothing with different detergents. If you buy some of those pH strips and you moist it in that detergent, you'll be surprised how high the pH is. Most of the time it's 13, 14. Well, our body should be somewhere around 7. That's healthier one, which is neutral. It never is. The lower the pH is, the faster we get sick or we die. So we have to make sure we keep our pH of our body around 7. The detergents are very high. Like I said, they are all the way to the other end of the scale of pH, which is 13, 14. They will get into your clothing, and even if you rinse the water, unless you have a filtration system in your body that will balance the alkalinity of your water and acidity, you're going to dry out those clothing, and then you're going to wear them, and they come in contact with your skin. They're going to irritate the skin, and your Langerhans cells, the immune system cells found in our spinosum layer of the epidermis, so the third layer below the surface, are going to react to this, and will actually detect this residues of detergent as a allergen, and it's going to release histamine, so your skin is going to get red, and you're going to be getting a rash, and you're going to start scratching your skin because it becomes itchy. So you're going to say, okay, we have no other choice. Yes, you do have choice. So today I'm going to tell you about a choice. The choice is this: hydrogen peroxide, food grade, 3%. You can buy it in different percentage from 3, 10, 15, up to 35%. Okay, I buy the 3%, which is good enough to do what I want this substance to do. Again, I'm not sponsored by the manufacturer of this hydrogen peroxide by anyone. What I'm telling you is what I experienced and what I've been doing for over 35 years with this substance. Okay, so how are we going to wash your clothing with hydrogen peroxide? First of all, it's a natural stain remover, organic as possible as it can be. Okay, it's never going to irritate your skin. It's never, unless you put it straight on your skin. Yes, you might get a little bit rash because you get a reaction from oxygenation of the cells. Okay, remember, this is inducing oxygenation into your body altogether. So a little bit too much oxygen is not good. If you go back and think about when people were placed on ventilators a few years ago, many of them, they wind up dying because they had their lungs froze. Okay, you cannot have too much oxygen. Yet the oxygen that is in our environment, it's only maybe, if we are lucky, 19%. The rest of the gases are not always the one our body benefits of. So when you do laundry, for instance, in a regular washing machine, you let it fill up with water, and then you put 2 cups, like 2 ounces of hydrogen peroxide. You put them inside of your washing machine, and you wash that. I guarantee you all the stain will come out. It's not going to smell. Like sometimes if we don't get a service to our washing machines, they get that mildew smell. and you wonder, where is that smell coming from? Because I'm using detergent, my machine should not smell like that. If you add hydrogen peroxide in your water, all the stains you have, they're going to go away. And then when you take your clothing out of a washing machine, it's going to smell fresh. So this is one tip I'm giving you about washing your clothing. And that's what I do for myself and for my son, because I don't want him being ill already. I don't want him to be exposed to more unnecessary chemicals. Now, water is a chemical as well, but they are organic chemicals and inorganic chemicals, okay? Keep in mind always that I keep saying over and over and over again, our body is a bubble it's a bubble amount of organic matter. We are organic 100%. If you use organic and inorganic, they are like two parallel, they never joined. Okay, so your body is not meant to be exposed to inorganic matters because we'll not know what to do with it. The only thing would happen because of the immune system cells, you're going to get a reaction. So the body is going to send throughout the entire body, inside out, is going to send histamines. Your first proof of body making histamines is when you get a rash, when you get redness. When you get that redness, you would know that your body is fighting something. The immune system was alerted and your body is fighting something. In many cases, our body is able to fight pretty much everything we come in contact with. Otherwise, we will be dead. But there are situations when being bombarded with all these chemicals, and I'm talking about inorganic chemicals, our body will give up, will not know how to develop defensors, substances that will defend us and will raise immunity, especially if your digestion system is not good enough, if your nutrition is bad, you get sick too easily, then your immune system is going to start little by little, not working properly and not be able to fight what we come in contact with. Another use of the same substance, I'm going to show it to people that have not seen this from the beginning. You take 2 drops of this hydrogen peroxide, food grade, and you clean your ears wax. Okay, so you put your head on the side, say if this is the ear, the head wax, you put it up and then you put 2 drops of hydrogen peroxide in your ear, and then you touch this little section here of your ear, it's called tragus, and you kind of massage it like that, and you're going to feel like almost bubbling inside of your ear for about a minute or 2. Then you get up, and you can use a Q-tip if you want, gently. Make sure you don't push that wax back, okay? And you will be able to see, especially if you do something else after that. You put in 1 cup of water, about 2-3 drops of hydrogen peroxide, food grade 3%, and you wash your ear with this, and then the wax is going to come out. And it's a very easy way to clean your wax. I use the same substance to clean all my bathroom, my toilets. It is a powerful antibacterial and antifungal, and I'll get back to the fungal. Okay, so when you use this, okay, and again, it doesn't have to be straight. I have it in a spray bottle where I have 6 parts water, 1 part hydrogen peroxide. So this is pretty much the ratio I use, okay? And then I spray the toilet basin inside, the toilet seats outside, and I let it stay for about 10 minutes. I don't flush the toilet right away, okay? And then I take a cloth and wipe everything out. I haven't seen in the new toilets the seats getting yellow from all those cleaners, but I remember back in the day when those seats, they were made of a bad PVC. After a while, when you lift up the lid, you see like a yellow spots, and it looks like it's dirty, but it's not. It's just losing its whiteness from all these chemicals. The hydrogen peroxide will never do that, okay? I do the same thing, cleaning the air, so to speak, before I take a very long trip, when I have to drive for many hours. The ratio is this: 3 parts water, and half part hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so if you have 3 cups of water and 1/2 cup of hydrogen peroxide, I put it in a spray bottle and I spray it inside of my air vents in a car. Once in a while, usually once a year, I go to my mechanic and I said, change the filters of my vents because, they absorb all kind of chemicals from outdoors, pollutes and dust, all that. And since I started doing that, I knew it for years. But again, when you know too much, sometimes you just forget doing it or like you don't pay attention to it. So I said, okay, let me try to do that. And when I took the car to the mechanic and he took the filters out, he said, your filters are perfectly clean because I've been cleaning them with water and hydrogen peroxide. Okay, very easy to do, doesn't cost you a lot. This is a very simple and inexpensive compound. I do the same spraying the car seats. We sit on them. I mean, let's be honest. How many of you clean your car seats? And if you have car covers, how many of you take them out and you wash them, say, once a month? We sit on them every day when we drive. We eat in a car. Let's face it, we all do that. We drop crumbles of the food on those seats and we wiped it off with our hands thinking, okay, it's clean. In reality, it's not. So as you wash your clothing, you should wash your car seats covers or the car seats. I do that with hydrogen peroxide. I also spray my car keys. They are 2 items that we touch every day, probably the most filthy as far as bacteria and fungi, is the money and the car keys. Nobody washes the money and we don't wash our car keys. So if you spray that, 1 part water, regular water, and then you put about a 1/4 part distilled hydrogen peroxide in that mixture, and then you spray your door handles, you spray your car keys, is going to kill the bacteria. Because keep in mind, bacteria cannot survive in a medium high in oxygen. Hydrogen peroxide is pure oxygen. So when you do that, the bacteria, the fungi die. In my practice, I have, of course, every single day, people, they come and say, I have this fungus on my nail, mostly feet, where I have the fungus in between my feet, the athlete foot. I can't get rid of it. I tried all kind of chemicals and make it worse, and my skin is scabbing. And I said, you have 2 options, which are 100% natural. Okay, one will be oregano oil. Yes, it will take a little bit time. It doesn't happen like with those nail fungus chemicals, that in probably 2 weeks your fungus is gone. It takes about 3 weeks to a month. But every single day you take a dropper and you put it around your nail and underneath your nail and you don't wash it off, okay? You can use a Q-tip and massage your nail there and let it stay, and you'll be amazed that within, like I said, 3 weeks to a month, your fungus is gone. And it's 100% natural. It's not going to hurt your system. The same will be with, again, hydrogen peroxide, food grade, 3%. You put in a bottle, don't use it straight ever. 1:1 ratio. So 1 ratio water, whatever your ratio would be, 1 ratio hydrogen peroxide. And then spray that nail. You can spray the entire foot, the sole of your foot, everything. Spray with this and let it stay. Don't wash it off. Okay. All that, odor from your athlete foot, all the fungi that your feet may come in contact with, it will be gone in about 3 weeks to a month. Okay. So that's another use of this hydrogen peroxide. I use it almost every day because I have people with acne in my office almost every day. And because I claim all my treatments to be organic and natural, I try to stay away from the bad chemicals and try to use the organic chemicals. I involve hydrogen peroxide in almost everything. For those who are professional or not, when I prepped my solution that I will soak my compresses that cover my hands, my fingers before I start extraction, I soak them in a mixture of 1 part hydrogen peroxide, 1 part water. I put the essential oils that will fight bacteria and fungi on acne, and those are thyme oil, tea tree oil, oregano oil, turmeric oil, 1 drop of each in that. And then I soak the compresses in there, because you never squeeze your hands with nails or finger without being protected. So gloves on. The bacteria that cause acne is definitely contagious from human to human. We contact it from air because they are both airborne. But once your husband got, or your son got that bacteria in the skin, and you hug them and touch them, and will be cheek to cheek, and if they have an open pimple, you may get infected as well. Okay. The advices I give my clients when they come to me with acne said there is a lot of things you have to do at home. I work on you an hour and a half every week with acne. I call them weekly, but it's not enough. It's very important what you do to continue this at home. So what I tell them to do is every night, wipe your skin with hydrogen peroxide food grade 3%. So you take a cotton pad, you soaked it in this, and you just use it and wipe all over the skin where you have those breakouts. Okay? Don't wash it off. What is going to happen, because this promotes oxygenation into your skin and cells, and because oxygen kills bacteria, bacteria cannot survive in an environment high in oxygen. You probably have heard people saying, use blue light, because blue light, it's antibacterial. But most of those professionals, when they state that, and it's true, they don't follow up explaining to the public how that process takes place. Blue light actually induces oxygenation and detoxification of your skin. So you lose toxins and your skin absorbs oxygen. When that happens, bacteria implode, meaning it's just exploding itself and dies. And that's what hydrogen peroxide does, and also the blue light. So for those who don't have blue light at home, that's okay. Take a pad with hydrogen peroxide. Again, food grade 3%. I keep showing that because I want you to know exactly what I'm talking about. And then wipe the entire skin. Don't put it on the eyebrows or hair, because it will bleach the eyebrows and the hair. Okay. When I was younger and, coming from a communist country, there was no hair color. So women in my country, they were bleaching their hair using hydrogen peroxide, and they get that almost like very light yellow color. You could tell they use hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so stay away from the hair and the eyebrows, because then they're going to get bleached. There are, like I said, many options. Of course, consult a healthcare professional, because there are therapies that include hydrogen peroxide in your diet. I would not make those statements because I am not a medical doctor. I use it externally, and you have to get help from your holistic healthcare. I'm not sure that many Western medicine healthcare, they do that, but I know there are tons of holistic healthcare therapists that actually involve hydrogen peroxide in a lot of processes. I also make, and I use it for myself, I use it for my son. I mean, he was unfortunately many times in an ICU throughout his life. And he was asleep. Sometimes he had the oxygen tube in his throat. So although the nurses, they tried to clean their teeth and his mouth and everything, it's only so much you can do with the tube in your throat. So what I wind up doing I had a small bottle of distilled water, and like 2 ounces of distilled water. And then I put 10 drops of hydrogen peroxide food grade 3% in it. And I pulled his lips and spray inside of his mouth. because this way you have a perfect cleaning. You don't have to go to a dental cleaning. I mean, my teeth are very clean because after I brush my teeth and I make my own toothpaste, one day we're going to talk about that, I have that bottle of spray on my counter. And instead using synthetic chemical mouthwash, I use this. You can also add in that bottle of hydrogen peroxide with distilled water, you can add a little bit peppermint or spearmint or any essential oil pretty much you love. But I would say it has to be something like peppermint or spearmint because it gives you that fresh taste. So again, for those who have not heard that, it's like 2 ounces. It can be bigger if you want, you just double. 2 ounces of bottle, a spray bottle, and you put about, I would say, 3-4 drops of hydrogen peroxide inside. And then I would put like 2 drops of peppermint oil. Okay, shake it well a little bit, and every time after you brush your teeth, okay, spray inside of your cheeks, spray in the back of your throat, because the next benefit of hydrogen peroxide I'm going to talk to you about is sore throat. Okay, I have customers, they said to me, my God, I'm dealing with this sore throat and it's killing me. Most of the time, doctor recommends antibiotic for that, and is their job to do that because they are medical doctors and they can prescribe antibiotics. I cannot prescribe antibiotics, but I know this for sure. I've done it on my children, on both of my boys, and I still do it on my son that is ill. I do it on myself if I ever get one. I didn't have a streptococcus in my mouth, in my throat, probably since I was a child. And this is all due to the fact that I really know how to use different herbs and organic compounds to keep myself healthy. Okay, but if you get a strep throat, then I would say in 2 ounces of bottle spray, put about 20 drop of hydrogen peroxide, food grade 3%, so this one, okay? And then open your mouth and spray yourself all the way down. If you want to make it better, what you can do, it is not an organic compound, is lab made, but it's highly used in all kind of therapies. I'm telling you only what I did. I tried and it works. Methylene blue. It's over the counter. You find food grade or pharmaceutical grade methylene blue. And in that little bottle of water with about 10, 20, depends how much it hurts. Okay, drops of hydrogen peroxide, add 5 drops of methylene blue. And I bet my life on the fact that within 2 hours, you don't feel any pain in your throat. Those white clusters that develops on the side of your tonsils because of the streptococcus is going to be fading within a few more hours, and next morning you wake up and you don't have a strep throat anymore. No fever, no irritation, no rusty voice, no pain in your throat, nothing like that. I am a believer of this kind of uses. I wouldn't call them therapies, but uses of this special compounds that are offered to us. I had customers asking me if I don't have a toner and say I'm on a budget, I can buy a toner. I mean, let's face it, if especially it's a brand name, a toner could be between $25 and $40. Okay, that's a big chunk for 4 ounces of toner. In reality, do you need to buy a toner? No, because you have either red wine, which I mentioned in my last video. You take a little bit red wine, put it on a cotton pad or paper towel and wipe your skin with it. That's Cleopatra that taught me that. It's not me. I wish I would have been as smart as she was when she was using all these holistic remedies, all these botanicals, all these extracts. So that's one way of toning your skin. Or again, you use the hydrogen peroxide 3% food grade. And how you do that, like I said, don't use it straight because it's a little bit too much even for the skin, okay? It will change your pH and you don't want to do that. You want your pH of your skin to stay in between 5.5, 6.5. That's the ideal, okay? So what I want you to do is, in a 2 ounces bottle of distilled water, okay, add to that about 25 drops of hydrogen peroxide food grade 3%. And you can also add, if you want, an essential oil. People think essential oils, majority, not all of them, but majority think, oh, it's just for the aroma. That's not true. They have a therapeutic effect. And every single one is good for something. If I have someone that has oily skin that is tending to develop pimples, blemishes, infection, irritation, acne, any type of acne, then I advise them to add in that bottle with hydrogen peroxide and food grade distilled water, I ask them to add 2 drops of tea tree oil or a drop of oregano. 1 is enough. It's a very potent essential oil. Or 5 drops of turmeric oil. Some of these oils are expensive. I can tell you I use only doTERRA because they are organic. They are expensive. I mean, my turmeric bottle, which is 1 milligram, okay, is $37. But I use only a few drops for each treatment, and I rather spend a little bit more money for more effect and never side effects than buying something synthetic. These are only few recommendations I make. I have tried all of them that I'm telling you. I practice what I preach. Okay, I want to stay healthy. I want my son to stay alive as much as possible until, who knows, that supreme, power above our head will decide to take him away. But my job is, as long as I can, to make his being on this earth as more tolerable as possible. If I succeeded at doing it, all these things that I'm telling you, many of them on him for 38 years since he got ill, I've seen the results. So don't take my word for it. Try it. Try all these things and see if it works for you. I would love to hear from you and tell me that, I had such and such reaction, but I'm positive it's going to work. I use hydrogen peroxide alternate with red wine every night to tone my skin, not only the face, the décolleté, the neck, the back of the hands. And I have another great news about hydrogen peroxide. It's going to generate even pigment in your skin. When my client said, oh, can you make me an anti-pigment cream? I said, sure I can, but I'm trying to save you money and pay me for the procedures you do not know, nor that you can do by yourself at home, rather than products. So I can tell you this, if you take 2 ounces, those amber bottles is good because light is influencing oxygenation in the bottle. Okay, so you don't want to have an oxidation process. So take those amber bottles with the spray, 2 ounces. Okay, so what you do, you fill it up almost full, leave a little bit of room there with distilled water. Okay, and then you add about 30 drops of hydrogen peroxide food grade 3% and a full dropper, that's 25 drops of licorice root extract. And if you are spraying the areas you have pigment or uneven pigment, you will notice within 2 weeks big changes. Your pigment is going to fade away, your unwanted pigment, not your pigment that you really want to keep, your natural pigment you were born with. But all those dark spots, all those, spots, unevenness in color is going to fade away and you're going to have beautiful texture. Okay. I am far from being young, as you notice, but in my 60s, I think my skin looks very good. I have some expression lines. I don't really have wrinkles because I do everything that I tell you to do. Okay. So that's what I want.